Hi everyone, so this is being made as part of another video I'm making, but actually, yeah, that's all. So, here's how you can get over 100,000 runes on a fresh save, or even if you're still in the early game. Starting with the most difficult one, killing the Draconic Tree Sentinel. A little bit confusing, huh? Well, there's actually a very easy cheese method, which may take some trial and error, but it's pretty simple. The harder of the methods is parrying him, but the much easier method is just using the Lordsworn Greatsword. Also, the Lordsworn Greatsword can be found at Gatefront in just one of the carriages. It's very easy to find. It has a stamp uppercut Ash of War, which even if you don't have the stats for it, you don't have to worry, because the damage isn't what is important, it's the knockback that it does. Now, to actually get to the Tree Sentinel, you have to get both Dectus Lift medallions, and one can be found here in Mistwood in Fort Height. Just run past all the enemies, climb up the ladder, and open the chest to get the medallion piece. And to get here, just follow this path. And the other one is just past Grail in Fort Faroth. Here's me lining the path I took to get there from Gatefront. And same with the last one, just run past everything, climb up the ladder, and get the medallion piece. After that, go to this location in Liurnia, and jump up the Spirit Spring and head to the lift. If you don't know how to get to Liurnia without going past Margit, follow this bridge on the map, and to the left there's a path you can follow. Now all you have to do is get his attention and slowly bring him to the cliff. Go too quick and he'll either lose aggro or just spam fireballs, which wastes time. Next, make sure he has his back to the cliff and use the stamp uppercut move. Remember, you have to use the skill, then follow it up with a heavy in order to actually execute the uppercut. This has a knockback effect, and if you do it right, it knocks him off the cliff and bam, 50,000 runes. Now, I know this doesn't seem like free runes, but I promise you this is the hardest of the three. It took me like 5 tries maybe, and during my first attempt, I only got screwed over because it kind of glitched out and this happened. Either way, it's a nice 50,000 runes without too much difficulty or grinding at all to get there. Just don't get too impatient and it shouldn't be too much trouble. Next, you're going to need Torrent for this one, but it's pretty easy. And honestly, you're probably more likely to die on the way here than to actually die to the boss. If you head to the Dragon Barrow west side of Grace, you can follow my path here, and pretty much just hug to the left of the path to avoid the dragons. Eventually you'll run into another dragon along the path, but you can just run by him and reach the Dragon Barrow fork side of Grace. From here, follow the low left path once again, and there'll be some boulders that'll spawn that you have to avoid. But they're pretty easy to dodge, and at the end of the path, you'll reach Lemme's Rise. Rest until it's nighttime, and a Net Raider should spawn on the bridge. Hop on Torrent and get his aggro. Then start heading back towards the Grace by following this pathing, and make sure you get him to chase you off a cliff. The easiest way to guarantee is to predict when he's going to do his jump attack. You might have to loop around a couple times just because it can be a little weird with his pathing. But I'm sure you could also just use the same strat as the previous method with the Draconic Tree Sentinel and ledging him. But you can just get him to jump off. It's not too hard. And if he gets stuck for you just like he did for me here, you can just jump up here and get him to try to attack you and he'll fall off just like this. Once you accomplish this, you should get about 42,000 runes and the rest of his drops. Now, lastly, this one was a pretty obvious pick for runes, Grail. This one kind of just felt like I needed to add a third one. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Grail already. And if you don't, he's basically the giant elder sleeping dragon in front of Fort Faroth. And you'll need a bleed weapon. The earliest one you can get is if you start with the Uchi Katana. Otherwise, you can find the Morning Star here on the map. It's in a carriage you can reach by just following this path I'm showing on screen now. Once you get the bleed weapon, just head over to Grail and make sure you're on the side near the Fort Faroth side of Grace and just kind of whack him with it until he dies. The reason bleed matters is for the massive chunk damage. In total, from all these sources, you can get up to about 142,000 runes pretty easily from just beginning a new save. And if you manage to use a golden foul foot before getting the runes from each of them, you can get up to 184,600 runes. I hope you find this video informative in some way, or at least entertaining. It's background noise, or however you watch this. But yeah, please be sure to like and subscribe if you did, and yeah, I'll have another Elden Ring video up hopefully within the month. I'm still trying to get back into the uploading, but have a good rest of your day. Adios.